This is, I think this is our 15th Bitcoin Plus Plus since 2022. I can't remember. I've lost track. But this one's pretty special. This is going to be our... this song... Oh, wow. Okay, that's interesting. This is like, go back. This is our Exploits edition here in Florianopolis. So thank you, everyone, for coming. I don't know what this is. I apologize. And this year, oh man, that's awful. All right, well, Exploits edition powered by Vincium. So thank you to all of our sponsors. Vincium's our title sponsor. We also have NIDIG and Human Rights Foundations, who are our headline sponsors. So thank you to everyone, not just some, for making this possible. I don't know what's going on with the animations. I apologize. And also our workshop sponsor, Stackworks. Cool. Great. So this edition of Bitcoin Plus Plus, every edition of Bitcoin Plus Plus is a little special. For those of you, how many of you, this is your first Bitcoin Plus Plus that you're at? Wow, okay, so that's about half the people. It's amazing. So for those of you who are new, every edition that we have, we pick a different theme or topic. This year, our edition or theme is Exploits Edition. So we're very excited to be here in Florianopolis, Brazil, talking about exploits. I'm going to give maybe a little overview of like, okay, what does that mean? Why are exploits something that are worth paying attention to in Bitcoin? Maybe you've heard that Bitcoin is the hardest money that exists. Who's heard of this before? Is this a thing people have heard? Okay. So that means not only that it's economically hard or durable, but it also means that it can't be broken, right? Or that it's difficult to get or to exploit or have access to. Because money that can be broken technologically or at the protocol level wouldn't be very hard either, right? So we need it to be hard, not just economically, but also at the protocol and software level. So in order to achieve, some amount of security in the cryptographic sense, we've used Satoshi Nakamoto chose algorithms such as elliptic curve cryptography, and we use keys to keep our Bitcoin safe in some senses. But despite this security, occasionally exploits or problems are discovered in Bitcoin over its history. There have been problems in the code, so bugs in the code that cause issues. Some of these, maybe there's been bugs that have been introduced into it that change some guarantees in the protocol, such as the monetary supply. There's issues that people have found based on the game theory of how transactions arrive into blocks through the mempool. Sometimes there's issues because Bitcoin is a distributed network. This means that denial of service attacks or the ability to change what other people are allowed to see are possible. So there's a lot of surface area for problems to happen on Bitcoin. And bugs happen, right? As software engineers, sometimes we make mistakes. Things get introduced that shouldn't be there. So really what I want this conference to be a celebration of, or a discovery, is, what are the things that people are doing now and today in order to prevent or to observe bugs or exploits that exist in Bitcoin through maybe observability, or through proactive hunting for problems that already exist in the code. Because Bitcoin may be the hardest money, but we also wanted to make it the most secure money, and the way that we achieve that, I think, is through the work that not only people that are here in the room, but developers across the globe are doing together to make sure, and testing Bitcoin, looking for holes and bugs, talking to each other about how the protocols work, and proactively attempting to find places there where Bitcoin may not be the hardest, and so that we as a group can collectively find fixes so that Bitcoin remains the hardest money that exists, both economically as well as cryptographically and as software. Cool. So that's my presentation on exploits. Very excited to have all of you here talking about the work that you're doing to help make Bitcoin secure. I have a couple of announcements before I hand the mic over to our first speaker. So a couple announcements really quickly. We're going to have a bunch of fun activities and opportunities for you guys to work together and learn. One of those is going to be a hackathon. Usually we get the question, who hacks in the hackathon? The answer is that everyone should be hacking in the hackathon. The idea is that everyone comes and participates and finds a team. It's easier than ever with the advent of LLMs to create something and contribute in various ways. We're also going to have, there's some fun stuff that we're adding to this hackathon to exploit the exploits theme. And we'll be doing the hack off at the end of today here on the stage, so don't miss it. We've got 5 million Satoshis to hand out in prizes, so very excited about that. Just really quick, a reminder about the schedule. You can find it on the website at the agenda section. Apologize, we got a cold. So it'll be btcpp.dev/Faripa #agenda. But that being said, we'd love it if you talk about what your experiences are online. You can find our socials at btcplusplus on Instagram and on Twitter. We'd love to see, what your experiences are and share them publicly. That would be great. Speaking of online stuff, we're trying something new for Bitcoin Plus Plus this year. There's this online forum website. It's called Stacker News. We'd like everyone, if possible, to sign up and try out contributing and talking. And if you have side events or if you want to get lunch or you want to find friends, this is a great forum. It's kind of a Bitcoin only forum that we've got our own territory on, and this is a big thread where you can leave information and comments or links to talks, etc. Great. In addition to having a forum, which is cool for leaving posts and making advertisements, maybe you want to find a lunch buddy. We also have a Telegram group where we'll be posting more live updates about what's happening and if there's changes to the schedule, etc. Great. Last thing is we do have some merch here. There's a limited edition number of Core and Floresta hats that we'll have at check-in. So after lunch, if you want to come and buy a hat, I think we are Bitcoin only, and they'll be available at check-in after lunch. It's a closing party, but we'll talk more about that on Saturdays. That'll be Saturday after close of the conference. But I think that's everything. I hope that everyone really enjoys this edition of Bitcoin Plus Plus. I couldn't be more excited to have you here, and hope that it's a very productive 3 days for everyone. So thank you.